Hello. Let's get Gary on the screen. Hello and welcome to the very first Game of Crones live stream. My name is Gwing and I'm here as always with my soul sister Carrie and our special guest Kevin Cooley.
Here's Kevin.
So come on. You forgot the laugh. Hi. So Game of Crones happens when two comedian witches decided to have a little fun with their astrology and tarot reading. So our show features a special guest, astrology and tarot, some games, and just an absurd amount of fun. So for those of you who don't know, Carrie and I are the resident witches or astrologer and tarot reader of Mouse Stuff, which is the comedy team that produces Mercury Reprobates, the monthly astrology tarot improv show here at the Comedy Spot. Carrie and I also have a podcast together called Celestial Small Talk, where we also use astrology and tarot to tackle more weighted topics like social justice, family trauma, heartbreaks, rejections, all those things. Fun stuff. That's where we get into more serious stuff. But today, we're going to use those same tools that we use for these different shows to access the truth for more a playful angle and hopefully uncover some stuff for our special guests and see what happens.
Yes, and hello everyone. Super excited to be here. If you don't know much about the tarot, that's okay. Most people think it's absolute BS, but I have found it to be a really great tool for just kind of like checking in on what's going on. So we're not going to be like predicting Kevin's future, although we are going to talk about some things that he loves to do. And I thought that I'd just kind of pull a card to see how the episode goes, and a card just jumped out of the pile. So usually that says to me like this is like a big message from spirit, and it was the sun, which is a beautiful card in the tarot. It's all about kind of like if you think about the sun coming up in every morning and thinking about like optimism of a new day and kind of like putting the night behind you and stuff. I feel really good about that. So Kevin, how do you feel about the sun?
The sun, really cool, except when it throws like those solar storms and wipes out electronics. But other than that, the sun, and skin cancer. But great going out on a sunny day, unless you're working and then you're sweating on a roof like thing. But the sun can be very nice. It provides life.
It provides life. I mean, it is the reason that we are here. So fantastic way to start the episode. And Gwen's going to tell us a little bit about Kevin's astrology to get started.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I was thinking before we get started, should we send the form out so everybody had a chance to like fill out?
Yes, I already sent it, but I didn't say anything about it. So thank you.
This is Dana in the Great Beyond.
She's the man behind the curtain today.
Yeah. So if you are watching via Facebook, the link is in the comments, at the top of the comments, so you want to scroll up and get those. If you are on Twitch or YouTube...
I did put it on YouTube, but not Twitch.
Okay, so the link is also on YouTube, and if you're on Twitch, you can look at that number, quickly take a screenshot, and then type it into
real quick.
The internet.
And so the reason that I have this Google form is because I want you, the audience, to tell us your interpretations of Kevin. So there's going to be some adjectives, some nouns, some adverbs. So it's going to be like a Mad Libs tarot interpretation, but based on what you think about our special guest today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's going to be hilarious and ridiculous. So go ahead and fill out that form while Gwen's talking about the astrology. Thank you.
Awesome. So can we please have Kevin's chart up? It's blocking
That's fine. That's fine.
So Kevin, what do you see?
What do I see? Let's see here. I have a smaller representation here. There's a couple of blue boxes in there. There's a red X, some green lines, and some symbols that I don't know what they mean.
Yeah.
Pretty much
So,
like I don't know what's going on here.
perfect. You don't know anything. I can tell you anything.
Yeah.
So what you see there is actually really rare. It doesn't happen quite a lot. Those blue lines and the red X and the green lines that kind of forms like a rectangle. It's called a mystic rectangle or a righteousness rectangle.
Ooh.
It's a astrological configuration that has two sextiles, which is the green lines, two trines, which is the blue lines, and two oppositions, which are the two red lines. So people with this configuration have an ambivalent or absolutist attitude, a dualistic world outlook, and a tendency to think in black and white terms. And it looks like here your specific duality is between creativity and practicality, between chaos, impulsivity, and suppression control. It also tells me you have a complicated relationship with the maternal figures in your life. Um, so, so the envelope, it kind of looks like an envelope. So if you imagine an envelope, the inside, which is charged with tensions, though, like the red X is tension between the opposition sides of you, but it's protected by the lines outside. So inside the envelope is turmoil, outside the envelope looks nice. So basically what it is that your whatever it is happen inside is not usually visible from the outside. So usually maybe people might approach you and think you're, harmonious, and you always try to appease other people and things like that and give an impression of security and joy, and you just want to bring warmth and happiness to other people, but they're in inner tension that's not revealed.
Uh-huh. Well, we're not going to reveal that today then. Yeah, you ruined my whole gig.
I think that's actually really admirable that that you can find this balance. But what I did was that I sort of go through and look up celebrities with the same placement.
Oh.
And I thought that it would be fun if we pull up this. So the first time that I do these celebrities, I just want to reveal which other celebrities have the same aspects, the same envelope in the chart. If we can have those celebrities on screen. So we have Angelina Jolie, Shaquille O'Neal. Can you see? You can't see what's on here, huh? Oh, you can.
I put my phone so I can see it. Okay.
And one of the Spice Girls and Fonzie. So it's a really interesting combination of people. I think in my opinion, but I wonder if the audience or Kevin wants to guess which Spice Girl has this.
I have a guess.
Okay.
Well, maybe we should see if the audience has a guess first, because I don't want to influence their guess. But
okay.
In the audience, I want to put it in the comments. We can show them on the screen. And while we wait for any of that, Shareable Texas asked, is Godzilla a maternal figure? Because you mentioned turmoil with a maternal figure.
Yeah, 1998 TriStar Godzilla laid eggs, so could think of that one as a maternal figure, and I really don't consider that Godzilla. So I do have a troublesome relationship with that particular Godzilla, yes.
I remember this.
Wow.
Okay, so we do have one from the audience. So Shareable Texas says Posh Spice. That was also my guess, was Posh Spice.
Because Kevin's so posh.
I'm trying to think of like personalities of the other three people, and kind of who I think has kind of some of the closest.
Carrie, do you want to guess?
Oh, of the Spice Girls? By the way, the light went off here, so I'm having this like mystical darkness, which I kind of like. But Dana, practical as always, is going to help fix it. I guess I mean, I guess posh makes sense, but I'm gonna go sporty. I'm gonna go sporty spice. And that's because Kevin is very athletic.
He's like, what?
Obviously doesn't know me.
Kevin was on my team for our, what was it, the race comedy spot rally day, and you wore your knee, you wanted to race in every single event. You wanted to make sure, oh, there we go. I see the light. The sun has come out. He wanted to race in every single race all day for Big Day of Giving. He was wearing and his knee, he was like, he also didn't want to have knees at the end of the day. So.
And they were not happy with me, so I guess, okay.
Yeah.
I can have spurts of athleticism.
There you go. There you go. And I mean, you do improv fight club, so like you need to have a good amount of energy for that.
Okay.
That's true. Well, Carrie, you're actually correct.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wait, sports fights is Melby, right?
One of the Mels, there's two of them. There's a Melby.
I don't know. Anyway, it's Melby. Shoot, I should have done my research. It's one of the Spice Girls. Anyways, did any cards come out while we were talking about this, Carrie?
I can pull one right now. I was not looking because I was looking to see if my responses were coming through on Google Forms, which haven't come through yet. So
actually, Mel B is Scary Spice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, scary. Oh, that sounds more like.
Really, because she seems like she has always been very chatty, and that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So as I was just shuffling, the Five of Pentacles jumped out, and this is a card that often has to do with like not seeing what's right in front of you. So like having kind of like your blinders on when it comes to like matters of finances or like material goods or whatever, and like. The idea is that like help is out there, help is on the way. So I don't know if that's saying that like, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends or what. But that's what I'm going to take it as: a Spice Girls incarnate in a card. Got to get with your friends or Kevin to be supported.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. My brain went to two different things at once, so that's what we're gonna go with.
Right. So do you want to move to the next one? Because your responses are not.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I don't see any responses yet.
So Kevin, you are a Scorpio Sun, Pisces Moon, and Leo Rising. So this is a combination of zest and compassion. You are free-spirited, soulful, artistically gifted, compassionate, influential, sensitive, and mysterious. You are a keen observer of others and a deep thinker. You're very imaginative, ambitious, passionate, and are attracted to things that are mystical and mysterious. You are a delightful conversationalist, and you pride yourself on being helpful, loyal, but you also love to stand out and be admired.
Deep thinker, huh? I don't know. I'll have to run that through.
Okay, you're thinking deep right now.
You're trying, but it's not working. There's not a smoke billowing out of my ears. Sure. Okay. I'm not.
Are you philosophical?
Maybe more so in my youth. These days, not so much. More jaded and grizzled old person now.
That actually correlates. The King of Cups just flew out of the deck again while you two were talking. And the King of Cups I noticed at the beginning, but then I shuffled him back in, and then he popped out again. So clearly, this card was meant for you, Kevin. Okay. This is someone who is like totally in charge of their emotions. So like cool, competent, can like ride the eye of the storm.
Oh.
Are there examples where you have definitely done that in your life? Where you've been like, I'm taking control?
Examples. Generally, I'm like the Hulk in the first movie, so I'm always on the verge of anger and destruction, but keep my cool through the whole thing. No, that's not true at all.
He's lying to us, people.
A wild ride.
I don't have any specific, but yeah, I try not to be, I try to be even keeled. It doesn't really, I don't find it to be very helpful to fly off the handle at all. So in customer service settings or just in public speaking settings, I try to keep my mouth shut if I have opinions that don't jibe with what everyone else is saying, unless it's a receptive kind of group.
So you like to kind of sense your audience before you will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
Is that something that? So do you work in customer service? We haven't even. Yeah. What do you do? What's your day job? What's your thing?
I used to do more customer service. These days, I just do accounts payable. Accounts receivable. At a cold storage facility. I used to be in charge of the customer service reps, and in previous jobs I did customer service a lot. So, yeah. Sweet. Well, I did get one response here. So we're going to pull a new card, and we're going to see what that card is, how that card is being interpreted by one of our lovely watchers. I don't know who put this in, but thank you so much. And those of you who are just joining in, if you scroll back in on the comments, you'll see a link to a form. Thank you, Dana, that you can fill out to be able to participate in this Mad Lib style of interpretation. So, 9 of Pentacles came out, which usually represents freedom, and it can also have to do with drinking your own soup. For Kevin, this card clearly speaks to your kind nature and your ability to brunch for yourself and those around you. If you embody this card, you'll be like the dragon who always destroys cities gratuitously. The fun wisdom of this card is to find stillness in the moon, and be sure to meditate on the idea of cleaning up your dishes after dinner at the beginning of each day. Tell me, Kevin, how does that resonate with you? I never clean up my dishes after dinner at the beginning of the day.
But you're supposed to meditate on it at the beginning of the day, so you do it at the end of the day.
Yeah, a lot of other word salad going on there. What's stuck? Brunching. Yeah, I can brunch.
Yes, and we're going to get to that later.
Okay, I'll not dwell on that then.
You were compared to a dragon, Kevin.
That's because of Godzilla, obviously.
Yeah.
But dragons, there's a lot of different interpretations of dragons through different cultures in history. Some good, some bad. I guess I'm of European descent, so bad.
Are dragons typical of, I mean, I know they're like typical of like lore, but like, what does that have to do with your European descent in your mind? What's the connection? Were your people, I don't know, the ancestors, descendants of dragons? Are you
No.
the Khaleesi?
I got a lot of beer makers in my past, I think. England, I got no royalty at all. Very blue collar throughout most of my generations of family. Dragon. Well, dragons used to be like, let's see, we'll do A, B to C. Used to be big snakes, and then they put wings on them. And then they eventually got like feet and arms. They destroyed a lot of crops. They put out the virgin person for a sacrifice. And that could be me. I could be the virginal sacrifice because if you need somebody of your team to do something on stage, I'll give it a shot and take one for the team.
I love that. I actually think that that kind of leads into like the actual interpretation of this card. Thank you for my Mad Libs enthusiast. And I do need more responses, so please go back to that form and fill it out for later in the show. But the Nine of Pentacles is really someone who's like willing to put in the hard work. So exactly what you said, kind of like being the sacrificial lamb, or like, you know, saying like, I'm gonna put in this hard work, and I'm gonna like look back and also be like, God damn, I did that. Like, you're proud of the work that you put in.
Okay. I am proud when I do put in some work. I do tend to be lazy and not put in the work. But when I do, I feel proud of myself, and then another decade later, I'll do it again.
All right, but only every 10 years.
Every 10 years.
Okay.
But 7 on a good cycle.
All right. Sweet.
Very cool. Well, we were talking about your astrology placements with Sun, New Moon, New Rising, and I put a combination of 4 different celebrities, and so these celebrities have some kind of like either Sun, Moon, or Rising, or all of them similar to yours. So only one of these celebrities would be your exact match. The other ones, they have like 2 placements, but not the exact same. And I want to give, like, usually what happens is if you have the 3 Sun, Moon, and Rising, especially if it's like similar degrees, you kind of look similar. So this is kind of like a hint, you know, for you and for the audience if you want to make a guess. But here we have Patrick Warburton, Martin Scorsese, I don't know how to say his last name. There you go. And the King Charles
III,
and Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Which one of these celebrities do you think have the exact same 3, big 3 is what they call it, Sun, Moon, and Rising, as you?
My scientific survey says Kevin Smith.
Oh. What about the audience? Does anybody have any guesses?
Do you have any guesses in the audience of which one of these 4 celebrities has a similar setup to Kevin? Go ahead and put it in the comments now.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Smith, with the name, like, that kind of makes sense that you would be, or your finger would be attracted to pointing at him. Yeah, there is some roguishness about you that I can see with Patrick Warburton. He also has a great voice, and I think you have a great voice.
Oh, thank you.
Green also says Warburton.
Oh!
Ooh.
I think Kevin would make a cool king.
That's for damn sure.
I just wait 76 years, yeah.
But you don't think you have what it takes to be the King of England?
I know I don't have what it takes to be the king. I'm not related.
You just talked about your noble European English descendants. It's not royal, though. It's not royal. It's blue collar.
Royal pain in the ass, maybe, but not technically royal.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? There's a lot of dalliances going on.
Don't listen to Kevin. He's wonderful. He's so kind.
Yeah. How about the like creative, chutzpah of Martin Scorsese? That feels like a good match too. I don't know.
What do you think, Dana?
Yeah, I kind of want to go with Kevin Smith just because I feel like head structure is the most similar. that was sort of my guess.
The correct answer is Martin Scorsese.
Oh!
Yeah. Okay.
How fun.
Yeah.
Nice. So what qualities do you think you have in common with Martin Scorsese?
Well, let's see. I know nothing about Martin Scorsese.
He makes a lot of movies. That's all
and he probably doesn't know anything about you. Oh, no, that's low.
Let's see. So, I don't know. He's a director, so he probably has to keep in control when working with difficult actors. Maybe that's something like that, maybe?
Yeah, sounds good. Well, we just got another card fly out while you were talking, and this card is the Empress. So we're going to go with our Mad Libs entry. Words are hard. Thank you to our second entrant. So I pulled the Empress, which usually represents Willy Wonka as a semi-functional chocolate factory. What does this say? Semi-functional chocolate factory renovation. Sure. And it can also have to do with galloping over the existential rainbow farting unicorn. For Kevin, this clearly speaks to your sweetheart nature and your ability to cheat at comedy spot squares for yourself and those around you. If you embody this card, you'll be like the owl who always goes, hoo hoo, contemptuously. The infinity and beyond wisdom of this card is to find stillness under the floorboards of Morticia Adams' house. And be sure to meditate on the idea of whatever you do, don't ask why at the beginning of each day. How does that land with you, Kevin? Who is accusing you of cheating at Comedy Spot Squares? Do you know?
I know.
It could be anybody who was ever on Comedy Spot Squares.
Do you cheat?
Well,
Comedy Spot Squares, maybe.
Kendra said that she filled out the form, probably did it wrong, didn't really know what anything was. But now we learned that it is a Mad Libs to give the tarot card reading.
Yes. I mean, I think it's, thank you, Kendra. If that was the one I just read, it was delightful. I have a third one, so we can get to that later after our next segment. But yeah.
Semi-functioning stood out for me.
Oh, semi-functioning Willy Wonka. Yeah.
Semi-functioning.
Semi-non-functional chocolate factory renovation. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what the Empress is all about. It's actually written in the guidebook, word for word. No, the Empress is like actually about like taking care of yourself. Like, what the fuck does Kevin want? Like, what does Kevin do to unwind and let loose and like treat yourself?
What does Kevin do? Lately, well, through the pandemic, I haven't done much. So brunch, I like going to brunch with a friend. Started writing about it, and people seem to like to read it. That's turned into a content creation thing, so it's not just relaxing anymore. What else does Kevin do to cut loose? Okay, that's illegal, so I can't tell you that. Mm-hmm. That's immoral, so I won't tell you that. Mm-hmm.
He's smart. He's not indicting himself on this very widely broadcasted show.
Thousands of people watching this. Yeah, I just like sitting alone in the house, like watching some kind of video content. It could be YouTube, it could be Netflix, it can be anything just mindless to let me sit on the couch and just veg out with nothing, like no responsibilities, no like anything pending that I need to get done. I just like to chill alone or quietly with someone else.
Hear, hear.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, before we interject, Kendra says that for the record, Kevin is one of my favorites and he is a sweetheart.
Aw. Thank you, Kendra. You're a sweetheart.
Well, a lot of us, I feel like everybody knows that Kevin loves Godzilla. Actually, one of my first time watching Cage Match, Kevin had this question. Instead of flipping a coin, he was like, well, guess how many Godzilla, figures I have at the house. And that was like I remember 14 was the number, I think. I don't know, I'm a nerd with numbers. But yeah, it was. I was like, oh wow, this person really, really, really enjoy Godzilla related things. So, because of that, I looked up the birthday of Godzilla. Basically, is the day that it was first. I wouldn't. It's not broadcast in theaters.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is the day that Japan celebrates every year as Godzilla birthday. So I was like, that's kind of cool. But I use that day and pull a compatibility chart between Kevin and Godzilla, just for to see if there's any reciprocation, I guess. um, so I noticed a few of these aspects, which is actually pretty impressive for me. There's Pluto conjunct your ascendant exact degree. So what that means is that Godzilla has the power to transform your life. Yeah, it's transform your life. There's Venus conjuncts your sun in Scorpio. So you both are Scorpios. I don't know if you already know that, but you both are Scorpios. Very intense, very powerful. So with the Venus conjunct your sun in Scorpio, that's intense devotion. I really like that. And then there's your sun conjunct South Node, and then South Node in the 12th house, which means past life connection. So in your past life, you had some kind of connection with Godzilla. Who knows? You might have been the creator.
No, you were still alive when I was alive, so.
Wait, who's the creator of Godzilla? I don't know.
Well, Ichiro Honda was the director, so he's got the most to do with it. But then there are a bunch of writers and other stuff. So maybe a unknown writer somewhere in the Toho canon that I don't know about.
Interesting. I thought that this was based on an older work that was sort of just adaptive into the screen, but this is actually just straight out screen.
Yep.
Cool. Very cool. Your moon, Godzilla's moon opposite your Jupiter, that's joy and optimism. Jupiter and Uranus trine Venus, which mean expansion and shaking up your passion and appreciation for one another, as well as shaking up your creative endeavors. And Saturn conjunct your Mercury means that Godzilla keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Godzilla will keep you grounded. I mean, you can keep anybody grounded. You just let he talks about different political messages in some of the movies. Let you, think about the world around you. There's how he treats his friends in some movies, like Jet Jaguar. They team up and do take care of business together. Yeah. And the constant suffering, the Shin Godzilla, that's, reminds you your life isn't that bad in comparison.
That's true. That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah. Well, I may jump in here that the Two of Wands came out while you were talking about Godzilla. And that usually represents dread. It can also have to do with longing. And for Kevin, this card clearly speaks to your insightful nature and your ability to monologue for yourself and those around you. If you embody this card, you'll be like the horse who always trots kindly. The multifaceted wisdom of this card is to find stillness in an alley dumpster and be sure to meditate on the idea of you do you, boo, at the beginning of each day. That just really got to me. That was a beautiful addition by one of our lovely watchers.
I was born in the year of the horse as well, so. Oh,
how fun! So you've been compared to a dragon, an owl, and a horse. And I do have a fourth one, so we can get to a fourth one later. Mm-hmm. But since a two came out, like while you were talking about Godzilla, I mean, normally that's like a card of companionship. So you go from, ace to two, so you add another person. And wands are all about creativity, so this feels like a really appropriate, lighting of your creative fire. Like whenever you talk about or engage with things about Godzilla, it kind of like gets you going.
Yeah.
Not in like a weird way. Like, sorry.
Well, you don't want to, there's no kink shaming here.
That's true. You're right. I shouldn't have said that in a weird way. In a totally normal, healthy, consensual adult way.
Wearing an inflatable Godzilla suit that you've kept in your trunk just in case when you're on a date is completely normal and should not be shamed.
Just like our watcher said, you do you, boo.
You do you.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So time check is 6:43.
Yeah, we want to get to our last thing. So we're going to talk about your favorite activity of late, which is brunch. So do you have plans for brunch this Sunday?
I don't have plans. Usually those don't gel until the last minute.
Okay. Do you have a place in mind for it?
Nope.
Okay, you're just going to go where the wind takes you.
Yep.
Queen, are there any astrological things in the forecast on Sunday that Kevin and his guests need to be aware of?
So on Sunday, October 2nd, the moon is going to move from enthusiastic and daring Sagittarius to more practical and ambitious Capricorn. So there's a good time to turn your visions into reality. And so that's the day that, you get more grounded and practical. You get more organized, checking things off your list. So I think it's a good time for like a Sunday to like getting those things done and then go into brunch, and like eating good food is another Earth Day kind of energy. Eating good food, just enjoying earthly pleasures, basically. It is also the first quarter, so it's action and commitment is basically like, don't back out. Stick to it. With the Sun conjunct Venus opposite Jupiter, and then Mars is squaring Mercury, station direct, and Neptune. So basically what it tells me is that there might be confusion here. So don't overpromise out of excitement, or don't take any promises as like, oh, they're going to follow through on that, because they might be a little bit overexcited to commit to something that,
Okay.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
That sounds like what you were just saying, like your plans don't gel right away.
They don't gel right away.
Yeah.
But that also tells me if Ryan says he's going to be able to make it, don't believe him.
Ryan, if you're watching right now, if you're watching after the fact, you heard it here first.
Always have somebody in my back pocket as a replacement.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we did have the Two of Pentacles come out, so we got two twos in a row. So the compatibility with Godzilla was creativity. Mm-hmm. Two of Pentacles has to do with like balancing things. So, this might have to do with like your material spending or earning. And we're gonna go with our last Mad Lib here. So thank you again to everyone who has participated. The Two of Wands usually represents growth, and it can also have to do with checking with my mental health. For Kevin, this card clearly speaks to your empathetic nature and your ability to laugh a lot for yourself and those around you. If you embody this card, you'll be like the kitty who always cleans itself glittery. The shiny wisdom of this card is to find stillness on your front porch, and be sure to meditate on the idea of not eating yellow snow at the beginning of each day. How does that land with you, Kevin?
I grew up with snow, so yes, not eating yellow snow is very important for a good day.
Yeah. And of the four animals, you got the dragon, the horse, the owl, and the kitty. Which one do you feel most aligned with?
I would say the dragon.
Yeah, I think that was a good one. Yeah. I mean, but also like what a spectrum of like dragon to kitty. people have a lot of views of this multifaceted man, as we were able to see today. So thank you so much for taking the time to get your astrological forecast read and have a couple fun with some cards that came out.
Well, thank you very much. This has been fun.
Thank you. And if anyone is interested in seeing our Mercury Reprobate show, so more of this, but with an improv team behind us to act out silly scenes afterwards, we are at the Comedy Spot this Saturday at 8 p.m. for our Libra show. We have a wonderful guest, Charlotte Hoare, coming on, and we're going to have a lineup of spectacular improvised scenes. We don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. It's great. Be there Saturday at 8.
Yay!
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. And thank you for watching at home and filling out the form. And we'll see everybody later.
Bye!
Bye!